Let's go!
My name is Lucy Crookston. I am a social media content producer at AXA UK.
Denise O'Sullivan. I'm a professional football player for Liverpool Football Club.
Niamh Fahey. I'm the technical coordinator at Liverpool Women. Previously, I was a professional footballer for Liverpool Women.
Lindsay Goddard. I'm head of strategic growth and development at AXA Health International. I grew up playing tennis.
Hurdles and pole vault.
Football and Gaelic football.
Football, Gaelic football and camogie.
Welcome everyone, so excited for this incredible conversation, and a big thank you to AXA and Liverpool for bringing us all together today. There's this direct connection between sport and leadership. Niamh, I want to start with you. You went from being known for what you did on the pitch to leading in a new role off the pitch. What was the most challenging identity shift?
I think the identity shift I found the most difficult was finding something I was good at again. You base so much things on your sporting prowess, and when that changes, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I don't know what I'm good at anymore. But for me, the things I've learned on the pitch from leadership, how I work in a team, how I communicate with everybody from the sporting pitch is now translated nicely off the pitch.
What is a habit that you built from sport that you still use today?
I think work ethic for me. I think it's important to control what you can control and show up every day and work hard.
Making sure you are celebrating those successes, even the small wins. So if you've noticed that someone has done something really well or is like coping with a really tough project, sort of making sure you're giving them little positive messages.
For me, it is ceasing to pursue perfection. There is obviously the desire to continue to improve, and that's important, but I think accepting that things might go wrong along the way is a really important part of growing and learning and being able to take risks and chances and do good things.
In elite sports, recovery is planned and prioritized, and it's part of our training. It's something that we do and we plan every week. But when you go to the work setting, sometimes it's something that we feel like we have to earn in order to get.
Yeah, I think recovery is honestly more important than training every day. You need that rest, you need mental rest. There's a lot of different forms of recovery. Nutrition, hydration, sleep, all those come into play when you're a professional athlete.
Was there a moment in your career where you realized that, actually recovery was important?
Probably only the last few years, honestly. I think when you're younger, you don't care, right? Yeah. You're eating whatever you want. You can get through it. You can get through games. You can get through 2 games in a day when you're younger. But now, as you get older, you really need to take care of your body.
You know best what your body needs. If it's rest, you might need to rest. If it's fueling, then you need to take in that extra bit of energy.
I think there's many times through many seasons where I did underfuel with my old team. I was severely underfueling, and I was the captain and I was doing a speech and I actually got brain fog and just completely blanked out. That's a massive thing. You have to fuel your body. If you don't, you can't focus, you can't concentrate, and it really does affect your performance.
It's one of the leading contributors to REDS, or relative energy deficiency syndrome, where you underfuel and you overtrain. Well, we have 3 people around this table, including me, that have had knee surgeries. Me, you, and you, right?
Not right here.
I would just like to say, there must be one thing, though, right, that we could say really helped us. What is a recovery tool or method that you could take from that time in your life?
I think patience is the key
I'm really
word
bad
in
at
there.
that.
I
Are
know.
you good at patience? Because I'm not. No.
I guess, yeah, it's just that journey that rehab took me on. It was not linear in the slightest, and I now sort of take what I learned from that journey into my work life now.
It's interesting because business is so fast moving now, when you're under pressure to perform and to move and to keep going, even when you know that you need to step back. And it's having that discipline and ability and strength to sort of say, no, this is important that we do this before we move on. And for me, that translates in I've taken the conscious decision to work 4 days a week. So I have Friday off and I prioritise all of the things that I love outside of work on that Friday, and it's really healthy for me to have that hard stop that leads into the weekend, that gives me that opportunity to do things like be with my family and do exercise in a meaningful way and really sort of rejuvenate, ready to go for the next week.
I went through a really tough time with injury, and then I went to see a CBT, cognitive behavioural therapist, And it was the best thing I ever did because they taught me so much about myself, how I catastrophize and build up problems, and just got to know myself, but then also equally the toolkit to deal with it. That was a really important learning curve for me, and being vulnerable to that process as well. I think there is some kind of stigma sometimes around mental health and that vulnerability, so you learn a lot and ultimately get a lot out of it as well, and you're better prepared for sometimes what life throws at you.
Well, an important part of sport is the mental side of sport. So I'd love you guys all to share your favorite mental health tool that you use either today or you used to use and now after this conversation you want to go back to doing more of.
My career is all creative based and I'm a very creative person, so I think it really helps for me to journal. I love to just get everything down on a piece of paper. I'll look at races ahead of time and set little goals, but I'll also draw out things like I'll draw out the swim course of a triathlon and pick like where I want to start on the start pontoon. I now do that in work as well, so I'll set loads of goals like physically on paper and little messages of positivity to myself, like you can do this.
In tennis, because there can be so many ups and downs, one of the things that we were taught was at the end of a point, and it was a good point or a bad point, but particularly effective in a bad point, is turn your back on the court. So you're disassociating yourself with what's just happened. It's about creating that space between you and the problem, and then giving yourself an opportunity to really break it down into some really bite-sized chunks, take its power away from it a little bit.
I have like a relaxation routine as well before bed when I find it difficult to switch off, and like pressure I feel it affects me at night time. Yeah. So that's like, just phones away.
I want to talk about some myths. True or false? You are more likely to get injured when you are on your period.
Ooh, I might say true to that.
False. My period will get in the way of my performance just by showing up.
That could be true. That might unsettle me, but you're going to say false.
Yes. Okay, the last one. Painful periods are just something I have to put up with.
False.
False. You know, obviously discomfort and pain is a concern and it's common, but if it's persistent and severe pain, that is something that you absolutely should address and you can address. Okay, so those are my myths that I want to make sure that we all understand. You sort of passed. There's a lot of misconceptions out there around performing on your period, and you absolutely can perform really well. You can actually win gold medals on your period. How did being in an environment that openly discussed things like periods, fatigue, iron deficiencies, sleep, and pain really impact your ability to perform and also advocate for yourself?
I think it was key, really. I think having a changing room of like-minded individual, fellow professional female athletes who just normalise the conversation, remove the stigma about it. If someone was having a heavy period and they were bent over with cramps, and be like, oh, I hope you're okay, and like everything, but like also, you know, you got this, kind of like that camaraderie to get through it. It is quite debilitating for a lot of players. I was lucky it wasn't as bad at certain times, but I think having those like-minded people and just normalising it completely removed the fear and the kind of mental burden.
I'm quite passionate about this now actually, because I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about more. But yeah, I've spent a lot of time over the years with the help of my coach trying to work out how my body works by tracking things and tracking how my training's gone. We found that towards the end of my luteal phase, right before my period, I really struggled with energy and fatigue. So we've taken steps to pre-plan around that time. We won't put in sessions that are sort of really high intensity or high impact or are going to make me feel like really worse, but just sort of lighten the load, so keep me moving, but make sure that, I don't know, give yourself a bit of slack really, and that it's okay to do that.
Individual tools really matter, but it also depends who we have around us and how we build our confidence by the people we see. I would love to start really with Lindsay, and this is really about how you have earned trust in some of the new roles that you've taken on. Can you take us back to when you first became captain?
In this particular instance, we'd been on a bad run as a team, and so there was a lot of negativity, and it was figuring out how to break that down and change that narrative. It's about being like passionate and believing in the journey and what's next, and I think once you've got that message, you can really bring people along with you.
And sometimes you can find that, you know, belief in yourself, and other times it's helpful to have someone else who believes in you. And they're both really important things to have as you're developing your career in sport and your journey.
Yeah, the person who probably opened my world for me was when I was 17. My manager, Noel King, he gave me the confidence by saying to me one day after a game, you have the potential to make it in England or be on the senior national team, and that to me was like those words, but coming from him, that was the first time I felt, wow, someone thinks that I'm able to do it, and it gave me the confidence then to be like, okay, I could do it.
I love it. It's amazing that one phrase, one sentence can do so much to propel any one of us to believe that we can do it. So I want to turn to you, Denise. I mean, I'm sure there was a moment where when you started playing football, women's football wasn't as visible as it is today. So when you were younger, you know, who did you need to see to believe that you could make it?
My first women's game was actually watching Niamh and the national team in Cork.
No way.
Yeah, and I was really young, 13, 14 at the time, in Turner's Cross. And at that time, women's football wasn't on TV. You couldn't see it. So for me to be able to go out there and see those girls, see those role models for me that I really looked up to, it inspired me, and I wanted to be able to do that.
Wow. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The power of visibility and role models is obviously apparent even around this table. Was there a moment when you realized that young girls then were looking at you when you were further in your career?
It really showed at the World Cup. Going to that World Cup, it really inspired young girls and boys in Ireland. I knew then I had to have a responsibility to give back to those young girls, and I think it goes back to the women that came before me. Niamh Fahey is sitting here. They paved the way for myself to be where I'm at today, and I think that goes to me now. I have that responsibility to do that for younger girls.
There is this incredible connection between women and young girls in sport and leadership positions. So I would really love to just hear everyone's one last piece of advice that you would leave a young girl or woman who is thinking about quitting sport at any age.
I would say dig deep and really think about whether that's the right decision for you, and know that it brings so many opportunities that you might not even consider right now.
Don't give up. Keep trying every single day. Keep believing in yourself.
Keep going, be brave, and remember why you fell in love with sport in the first place.
If you're thinking about giving up sport, don't. Do not quit. Do not quit sport. It is the best thing you can do for your physical health, for your mental health, for your growth. For friendships. It touches every part of your life that you need to grow in, so just keep going no matter what sport it is.